What up, Marvin? I'm back. Um, I want to touch on this subject because I feel like it's very important. I think a lot of people are sensitive to it, um, but racism. Um, First, let's say what racism is. Racism is a form of discrimination, and that's in every aspect of life. That's in every decision or whatever. A lot of people like to say, "Oh, I'm not racist. I don't hate, this race or that race." Discrimination may be some form of hatred, but I don't really think you have to hate another race to be racist. It's just discrimination. I think I would say, first off, let me say this. Me, I'm a person. I grew up in a black neighborhood. All black people, no white people, no other race. Maybe one, or maybe one Hispanic like that. But all black people, all black neighborhood. Then I moved. When I moved to a mixed neighborhood. A lot of Hispanics, blacks, whites, Asians. So I experienced being around, which it really didn't matter to me no way, but I've been through that. Then when I went to college, I went to a dominant white university. I mean, we had black people who, most of them were males, and then we had most of them were dominantly white females or whatever. But the town was mostly white people, and so I've been through pretty much a lot of different aspects. And now in my life, I'm around a lot of Asians. I'm around a lot of people from Congo, which is in Africa. Um, there's many different types of Asians, so don't just think, oh, there's many different. I've been around a lot of people, man. Now I'm around I'm around pretty much every race every day, like pretty much. Not every race, but man. And I met people from India. Like I got Indian friends. Like I know, like so. There is no such thing as acting black, acting white, acting any race. There's no such thing as acting a race. You're acting like yourself. You make your own character. A major issue with racism is stereotype. I think a lot of times as people, no matter your race, you stereotype races like, oh, they supposed to do this, or oh, they do this because they this or whatever, which is not fair. It's not right. I think one thing as people that we have to really understand, like, this shouldn't even really be a topic. Like, I should just be able to just turn the camera on and just say, look at a person as who they are and then turn it off. But it's just not that simple. It's just not that simple. Certain stuff just has to be explained to people because I don't think they think more into the situation. But a person is a person because of who they want to be, not because of their race or, the way they just not because of their race. Your decision, my race doesn't affect my decision making. A lot of people, like, and that being said, like, I know a lot of people can shake their head and say, yeah, that's true. Now, when I say that, what I mean by that is if something happens, I'm not going to favor the black side over the white side. That's what I mean by that. Now, in my opinion, the people I know, shoot, probably all of them racist. Like, it's not funny, but probably all of them. Like, and I ain't gonna say all of them. I apologize if you're watching it. You say, I'm not racist. I'm not gonna say all of them, but man, it's very few people that I can say, or just if I can say any, or just not racist at all, because of what I believe racism is. Now, and that includes everybody. Like I ain't just talk. That's everybody. But I think the fairness and the unfairness to each race. Now, I'm going to touch bases on white and black. No offense to any other race, but let's just touch bases on white and black for a minute. I think, first of all, in the United States, I think that black people are more discriminated against than anybody. That's just the way I feel. That's what I've experienced. But that's just what I've experienced. I think there's unfairness to both sides. I think it's unfair that every time something happens that's racist with white people, we have to say stuff like, "Oh, we need justice. Oh, this has to happen because he's racist or she's racist." But if a black person come out and say something like, I hate white people," it's not going to be a big deal. And white people will sit back and be like, "Well, shoot, that black dude said he racist, or that black person said they racist, but if we do something about it, they're going to say we racist." So that's unfair to them. Like, that's very, very unfair, to a person who's a white individual, or they don't know how to handle it. But I will say this: if you're a white individual, have morality. You got to have morals. Like, you can't look at it. You can't do something because, okay, to punish a white person, you can't come out and say, "I'm going to do this because this is going to make black people happy." That's not why you should do it. You should do it because in my heart, this is what I feel like should be done, or this is how I feel about the situation. Like, don't just justify and say, "Oh, this person deserves this because, black people, this is what they want." That's not what you should decide it off of. You should decide off how you feel about it. I think that's unfair to white people, that if they do something, it's more of a big deal to black people versus if a black person does something. But at the same time, that goes vice versa. Like, if a black person, like, it's not a big deal to white people if another white person is racist. Sometimes to a lot of white people to allow it, it's not a big deal because they like, "Oh, it's not affecting me." It's not a big deal to some black people because some black people say it's not affecting me. But anytime racism is an issue, it's always going to be a big deal. Now, should you look at that person and hate them? No, you shouldn't. And I think hatred created hatred. Like, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, black people, we were slaves, so you should be on our side." First of all, I'm on nobody's side. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, I understand that we experience worse things when it comes to racism. Like, okay, versus most of the time, black people still to today were killed. Like, I seen a video where these people got together, white people got together and said, "We're going to kill the first black person we see. We're going to a black neighborhood." Bam, in the video, person driving the truck. So it's a girl in the car too, white girl in the car. She the one who told them where to go. Saw a black guy. First thing they did when they seen the black guys, went off the road, hit him, bam, got out of the car, beat him up, shot him a couple of times, ran him over, up, back and forth. That's why I say black people, we're more discriminated against. It's just the stories about it's about black people is more. And I'm not one of the people who say, we, like, this is for our people. This, like, these are my people. Like, we all are my people. We all are. Everybody's my people. Like, we're all human at the end of the day. Like, you think God looked down on us and say, "Oh, these my people, but these not because these are Asians, these are Hispanics. I didn't make the Hispanics to be my people, but I made the Asian." He didn't do that. We're all God's children. So I don't understand why. I just don't understand why race is such a big issue or anything. Like, let's go to dating for a minute. Now, I shouldn't, if I walk outside or if I'm somewhere and I see a woman, I shouldn't have to look at her and say, "Man, she's attractive," but she's white, so I don't know if she likes black guys. I shouldn't have to say that, man. Like, I shouldn't. First of all, I don't say that because I don't care. If I'm gonna talk to you anyway. But anyways, but I shouldn't, like, that shouldn't have to go in my mind. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're attractive. I want to talk to you. I like you or whatever. I don't see, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of people like to say, "Oh, it's not racist, it's preference." No. Okay. Race is not a preference. I can show you somebody that you can say they white, but they black. Or I can show you somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like I went to school with females who tan. They look darker than black girls. So like people like they can get out of here with that. It's not preference. A preference is I like what you like. Okay, like okay, I like girls who pretty in the face. To me, I like girls with big butts. What I think a big butt is, I like girls with big. That's a preference. A preference is not a race. Like I don't see how you can't justify that. You just really see people as they race, and that's a big problem. Now, I'll give you an example. If I know two women, right, and one black, one white, right, and the white girl is slightly better to me than the black girl, slightly. I know in my mind she's slightly better than the black girl, but I say I'm gonna be with the black girl because she's black. Okay, that's a form of discrimination. You favorite the girl because she was black, which is racist. I don't care what nobody say. That is racist. And for people that see this and say that's not racist, that's the problem. That's the problem. You see race. And I'm not saying like I ain't one of the people who want to go out and say, oh, I don't see color, because people just like to say that dumb stuff. Like you, obviously you see race, and you might be wrong because there's a lot of times you can look at somebody and not know their race, but you see different ethnicities because the guy put it here he put the test here before us. I mean, I just think a lot of times like people like to I think what makes white people upset too is like black people like to say, well, we were slaves. No, we wasn't slaves. Black people back in the day were slaves. And white people like to say, well, I didn't do it. My ancestors did it, which is true. That's very true. But in some cases, that ancestry has passed all the way down to your generation, and you still feel the same way about black people that they did. And vice versa. Like, I think a big issue is black people think we have the right, or not we, but some black people think that they have the right to dislike white people because of what happened in the past, and that's just not right. And some white people feel the same way. Like I should dislike black people because of this, and it's just stupidity, man. It's retarded. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use that word, but it's stupidity. It's just not. It's ignorance. And necessarily, you don't know if it's that. And it's like you don't know who people are connected to. You don't know families, man. You don't even know. You don't know that. Like, I can't sit here and tell you, yes, my great grandmother, my great grandfather was a slave. I don't know that because I don't know him. Like, I ain't went through my bloodline, so maybe some people probably went through their blood. I haven't went through mine, but you just don't know. Like, you mess around and be kin to somebody who owns slaves, or you mess around and be kin to somebody who was a slave. No matter what your race is, like, you never know, man. Like another thing that's not, I would say, that's not fair. Like, if you got two people, one black, one white, and the black guy, he smoke weed, he drink, he party, you know what I'm saying? He having sex with a lot of girls. He's perceived as a thug. But when white people do it, they just having fun. That's not right. Like, don't get me wrong. Racism is gonna upset me because I don't like it, and it's just that's not right. Like, why is he perceived as, or if he speaks certain way or a certain, he could say the exact same thing that a white dude said, but it's gonna be perceived different because he's black and the way he sounds. So it's like I've had people tell me, oh, you just don't understand. Like, I had white people tell me, you just don't understand. No, I understand. I just don't agree with what you're saying. that's just, I just don't agree with what you're saying. I think, man, it's just something that it's sad. It's sad to see in the world. Like I don't like to see, like, people say, "Oh yeah, we need to get that out of here. There's no room for racism in society." There's never been room for racism in no society. It doesn't matter if it's now or back in the day. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter when. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think here goes another thing. If you have parents, right, and your parents say, like, okay, let's say you have Hispanic parents, and or you Hispanic, and your parents say, I don't want you to date nobody that's not Hispanic, and you follow that, that makes you racist just right along with them. Like, this is my parents, I want them to love me. No, no, you upholding them wrong. I had people tell me, like, I've had people tell me, black, white, all kind of races, tell me, yeah, my parents said if I did this, that they would disown me or they'll be mad. Or so, like, first of all, I'm tell you right now, ain't nobody getting in the way of my happiness. That just what it's gonna be. But anyways, you're upholding your parents are wrong, and basically, if you saying you're gonna do it, you're saying you agree with them. I'm not gonna say you're saying you agree with them, but you not really disagreeing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really love them, you would tell them that they was wrong, and you would do the right thing. And if you find somebody, you know, that's capable of being with, spend the rest of your life. It's already hard. It's hard to find a person, period, in the world to spend the rest of your life with, regardless of their race. So once you start dumbing down races, you just eliminating chances. Like, you just eliminating your chance. That you just dumbing your chances down, because I don't think God looked down on us and say, okay, this is the, like, my biggest issue with people is I don't understand how people preach all this guy stuff and then they be racist. Like how do you do that? Like, I don't see how you think, oh yeah, God, he just did all this for me. Oh, he's just so wonderful. And then you racist. I don't want to date this person. I don't want to date that person. Like, I heard a girl like, I asked a girl one day, I said, it was a white girl. I said, your boyfriend racist, ain't he? She said, yeah. How do you know? I said, because he's upset that you're hanging out with black guys, which was me at the time, and probably some other people, because we're black. She was like, yeah, because if a white guy's in here, it wouldn't really bother him. I said, why do he feel that way towards black people? She said, because he think black men treat women wrong. Now, the only thing that really made me really say this guy right here is something, like, I don't understand where he coming from with this, because he cheated on her and he was cheating on her. So black people treat girls wrong, but you cheat. Yeah, I don't get that one right there. That one threw me off. Threw me off. Like, threw me off. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, I don't like I see people put stuff up. Like, I got friends. I see people put stuff up like, oh, I just love my black women. I wouldn't date no other race because black women are beautiful. Or women say, ooh, these black chocolate men, these big old men, I wouldn't date no other race. Okay. Now, that's not fair, or that I don't even know how to really touch on that one right there. Because the sad thing about it is some black people gonna see this and they gonna think I'm tripping. And they gonna say, oh, you ain't black. Clearly I am. So, I just think when people say stuff like that, I never understand that a day in my life. Like, what are you justifying? Like, you think, like, I think some people do stuff just because sometimes I just really don't understand. Like, where you getting at with that? Like, what's your point of saying that? Like, even if you do feel that way, whatever. You wrong if you feel that way. That's just my opinion. You wrong. So, and this is my thing. If you say, "Oh, I'm not wrong," just think about what God thinks of it. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And see, this thing, it's simple, man. Life is simple, man. This stuff is simple, man. Simple. But anyways, man, yeah, I've heard people say that, but if you hear a white person say that, you would jump, you just lose your mind because they racist. Of course they are, and you are too, because you think the same thing about you. It's the same thing. This is the thing. Racism is not just black people hate white people or Asians hate Cubans and all. It ain't just within that. I seen black people hate black people. This is how you know racism is ignorant. How in the world can you say I'm black, I hate black people? Because there are other black people out there that feel the same way you do. And I just don't understand, like, what's your purpose of that? Like, because of your... If I wake up every day and I lived in an all-white neighborhood and every last one of them hated me, and it was, let's say the popularity was 3,000 people, can I judge a whole race off 3,000 people? No, I cannot. If there was only 100 black people in the world and a white person knew 99 of them and they all hated white people, you still can't judge every black person because you still haven't met that one black person. It's that simple. And if you have any discrimination towards any race because of anything that makes you racist, I'm sorry. It's that simple. If you look at race in each situation, I'm sorry, you're racist. That's just that ain't even really my opinion. If you don't feel like that's how God feels, then I don't get what you believe in. I don't get what you believe in. Because when you read the Bible, it doesn't say it's on the Bible only for black people, only for Asians, only for Hispanics, only for white people. It don't say that. It's for everybody. He's God, like, he's put these rules here for you. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. We're all people, man. I don't like when people say, "Oh, these are my people." We're all people, man. We're all each other's people. He made us this way. It's a test. How are you going to react to it? Slavery. Black people weren't the only people that's been slaves in the world. It's slaves now. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I mean, I love it. If a slave movie come out, I'm going to go see it. I love them. I mean, they hurt, and I always, when I watch, I say, man, I couldn't have went through this, man. I wouldn't have made it. God made me at the right time because I wouldn't have made it, man. Like, that's hard. Like, it's different between being discriminated against. I can't get a job, or I can't, like, people going to judge me because of my skin color or whatever. Because, I mean, white people, they go through the same thing, man. It's not as bad, but, I mean, it's just not fair on both ends how things are, you know. I think that I shouldn't have to. It's crazy, man. Life is crazy. But everything, man. It's just like if somebody gets killed today by a white person, a black person get killed by a white person. Let's not make it about get justice because of the race. Okay? Because it's not about that. It's about a human being got killed, no matter their race. It's wrong. It's that simple. It's that simple. It just is. When you start dividing races, that's what it's going to stay. That's what the world's going to stay. It's going to stay divided instead of uniting it. So, you know. But I understand that the way I feel about it, life's going to be more harder for me because when you feel like you one of the few people who feel this way about the world. It's just not gonna be. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be hard, man. And I realize I've been talking for a while, but it's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. Why can't we just all be equal? But we're not gonna all be equal because somebody's gonna look at it and say, "Oh, they black, so I feel it. Oh, they white, so I feel this way." It's not right. Just make everything equal, man. Just a person. They make their own behavior. They race don't make their behavior. It just don't. And I just so for people who think that it can be equality, anything's possible. That's one thing I will always say. Anything is possible. I believe in God and I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe anything is possible. So with that being said, that's another reason you shouldn't judge people because they race, because anything is possible. People like to say, "Oh, man, she got a black girl booty." I'm confused on what you mean by that, but like anything's possible. Like, I would like to end it with this, which I always do, man. Just look, man, God's way. That's the only way to go. And God looks at us all as His children.